Boy, let's go. Let's read First Esdras, or third book of Esdras. Heck yeah. So camera's working and everything. Yep. Pretty much. Heck yeah. While we're reading. Alright. Anyone live? Not sure if anyone's live. I'm just gonna get chat up or something. Hold up. Wait. Go live. Am I live? Let me check. Boy, I'm gonna read some Old English. Heck yeah. Just gonna make sure that the audio is all good. Yep. Should be all good. Let me check in my phone if it's working. It's probably 1 hour stream for this one. Let me double check if I'm actually live. Should be live. Let me double check if I'm actually... Yep, live. Yep, I'm live. Look. Yep. Alright. Just need to do one thing. Yep. And little thing. Alright, so it says in here, third book of Esdras, first chapter. Heck yeah. Just gonna put this here. And there you go. So, first reading stream. Anyways, it says, the third book of Esdras. Josiah holds the Passover after his death. After his death is Jeconias, his son, made a king in his stead. I think that's stead, yeah? Whom the king of Egypt put out and left his brother Joachim, Joseph destroyed. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure if you can actually read that, but I'm gonna put up in chat the let me check this. The book, the page that I'm reading. Hold up. The first chapter. And Josiah held the feast of Eastern Jerusalem unto the Lord, and stewarded the Passover the 14th day of the first month. He led the priests also in order accordingly to their daily courses, being arrayed in long garments in the temple of the Lord. And he spake unto the Levites, the holy ministers of Israel, that they should hallow themselves unto the Lord, to set the holy ark of the Lord in the house that King Solomon the son of David had built, and said, Ye shall no more bear the ark upon your shoulders, now serve your Lord, and take the charge of his people of Israel, after your villages and your tribes, accordingly as King David the king of Israel has ordained, and according as Solomon his son has honorably prepared. Ye look that ye all do service in the temple, accordingly to the ordering and distribution of the principal men which are appointed out of the tribes to do service for the children of Israel. What was this? Kill the... Damn, reading all this shit. What does that word say? K-Y-L-L? Kill... Whatever. The Passover, and prepare offerings for your brethren, and do accordingly to the commandment of the Lord which he gave unto... What is this? What is... Fuck. I'm also kind of comparing it to the Geneva Bible as well. I have a Geneva Bible right beside me. Look at that. This thing has no verse numbers. Like, bruh, no verse numbers. Oh man, Moses. I think that's Moses, right? Is that Moses? Which he gave unto Moses. Oh, Moses. Yeah. That word should be Moses, I think. Yeah. I'm also gonna put the link of the thing that I have. Yeah, I think that's Moses, this word right over here. I'm also gonna put the link of the... Just gonna put this on the chat. I think that's Moses, this word right over here. Oh, whoops. Echo. There you go. Just put that in the chat. Just cause... You know, so you can see like what I'm reading. I'm not sure if the text is quite clear enough. Oh well. Is my mouth moving or not? Yeah, it's pretty sure it's moving. Oh shit. Ah. Moved. Ah. Whatever. Which he gave... I think what verse number is that? Therefore, so and take the charge of his people and take charge. Prepare offerings for your brethren, and do according to the command of the law which he gave unto Moses. And unto the people that he was found, Josiah gave 3,000 of sheep. Oh, this is the part. This reads familiar to the other book, isn't it? Yeah, this is the part where they like offer stuff. Like that one. That part is like found in the other book, I think. Maybe First Kings or something. Yeah. Of course, nobody's watching this shit. Gave 3,000 of sheep, lambs, kids, and goats, and 3,000 ox. These the king of his kingly liberty gave. I think liberally. This is liberally. This was a weird word right here. Gave unto the people according as he had promised. Promise. I think that's the word promise right over here. And to the priests for the Passover, he gave 2,000 sheep and abundance. Yeah, fuck. And the thing, yeah, basically it's just a list of offerings right over here. And when I'm just gonna skip reading that. And when these things were brought to pass, the priests and the Levites stood goodly in their order. Goodly. Goodly is an old English word, it seems. It says goodly right over here. Can it be seen though? Let me check. Let me double check my stream if it actually works. Well, it is working, but let me double check my stream if it actually works. Yep, it works. So yeah, it sees. Yeah, the text is not that bad. I mean, it's the best the camera could do, really. Whatever. And in their order, and had the unleavened bread throughout the tribes. So, and when these things were brought to pass, the priests and the Levites stood goodly in their order. What verse is that? I think that's like verse 1, verse 6. 1 verse 6, I think. Yeah. It's too bad that this one doesn't have the... Am I sleeping? Was my vtuber model just sleeps every now and then when I look down to my Bible? Yay. Wrought, and when these things, I put writing, which we appointed before your birth, Lord, and given to him, and just like, and when these things are brought to the priest, and yeah, after the stood coolly in their order and had the unleavened bread throughout the tribes of Israel, or throughout the tribes, and after the ordering of the principal men in the tribes, they offered unto the Lord in the sight of the people according as it is written in the book of Moses. And so they roasted the Easter lamb accordingly was. As for the Thanksgiving and the other, they died, give, or I don't know what does this word say. Die. They died them in kettles and pots and led them before the temple, with goodwill, I guess. So that's basically they're just doing the rituals or something over here. Okay. Is my mouth moving or not? My mouth is not moving as much as it should in the vtuber model. Come on. I think it's too silent. Yeah? Test. I'm gonna set up the volume gain. There you go. That should do it. And so they roasted the Easter lamb as accordingly was. As for the thank offerings and the other, they died. Yeah, I read that. They died them in kettles and pots and led them before the people with goodwill. I think that's damn. They put the letter Y instead of the I over here. And afterward before themselves and the priests, for the priests offered the fat until the time was expired. But the Levites prepared for themselves and for their brethren, the children of Aaron, the singers also. What verse number is this? The singers also. Why? I don't know what. Is it YT? And also that the children of Aleph stood in there. This is literally just a dot over here in this letter. Damn. So also that the children. So it says singers, right? The singers also. The children of Aleph. Asaph. I think that's not Aleph. It's Asaph. This one. I have to keep an eye out with these little F thingies. They have these little F things that look. It's actually an S. And Asaph stood in their order according as David had divided. So did Asaph, Zechariah, Zachary, and Jotham, which were appointed by the king. That's an M. Damn. Moreover, the porters and dozen keepers stood by the judge. What is this? Stood by the judges. I think that's judges. And that diligently and stood by the judges, and they diligently so. What is this? So that none went out of his standing and service, for their brethren the Levites prepared for them. Thus were all things performed that belonged to the offering of the Lord. In that day they held a Passover and offered thanks offerings beside the sacrifice of the Lord, according to the commandments of King Josiah. So that what is this? Is this an? I can't even understand. What's this letter over here? Is it a T or what? I think so that the children. I think it's T over there. And after the order of their, and when they, I'm also looking at the practically the. Damn, I'm actually, my model looks like I'm sleeping every time when I look downwards. Darn. Of course, nobody was able to watch this, I think. What time is it actually? Yeah, whatever. Whatever. It's so hard to read though. but I'm reading it. So yeah. If only I could see, gets to see what is this letter up over here? Is it that, or is it so that the children of Israel which were then present held an honorable Passover and the feast of sweet bread 7 days long. Ye such a Passover was not kept in Israel from the time of such a Passover was not kept in Israel from the time of prophet Samuel, and all the king of Israel held not such an Easter as this which King Josiah held, and the priests and the Levites and the Jews and all Israel, all of them, and of all them, and all of them. I think if it were to be rendered, it would be all of them for this part over here. Of all of them that were at Jerusalem, and in the 18th year in the 18th year of the reign of Josiah was this Passover kept. Yeah, this. Oh man. And with a perfect heart did the king Josiah order all his works before the Lord, and the things which were written of him in the times past concerning those that sinned and were ungodly against the law before all people, and that sought not unto the word of the Lord upon Israel. After all these acts of King Josiah, Pharaoh the king of Egypt went by and came toward Carchemish by Euphrates, and Josiah went to meet him. Then, this is the part where Josiah died. Josiah seems spaced though, as far as I've heard about him. Then sent the king of Egypt unto Josiah, saying, What have I to do with thee, O king of Judea? I'm not sent of the Lord to fight against thee, for my war is upon Euphrates. Go thou your way home again in all the haste. And Josiah would not turn again upon his chariot. I think it's chariot. Damn, they didn't chariot. This is the word. The way they spell chariot is charet. Chariot. It's chariot. But undertook to fight against him, and hearkened not unto the word of the prophet, which he told him out of the mouth of God, but pitched a battle against him in the field of Megiddo. And the princess pressed, and the princess pleaded, or is it pleaded? Yeah. Yeah, honestly, 1537 is so difficult. But it's so cool though. So practically, Josiah went to war against Pharaoh. I think I've read that before somewhere. I'm not sure which part. That part seems to be recorded just somewhere else. It's like a repeat. I think I'm not sure. Is it First Kings, Second Kings? I'm not sure which one it was. Press. Is it press or please? And the king and the princess pleaded. I think it could have been pleaded to King Josiah. Then said the king unto his servants, Carry me away out of there. Oh, this is the part. What will we know? Oh. Is it press or please? I think it's press somehow. That's like double S, I think. And the princes pleased to King Josiah. Then said the king unto his servants, carry me away out of the battle, for I am sore wounded. And immediately his servants took him away out of the front of the battle. Then sat he upon the second chariot and came to Jerusalem, died, and was buried in his father's sepulchre. And in all Jerusalem or Jewry, they mourn for Josiah. Basically, okay, so basically he went to Battle McGee and then he died, basically. Yep. I read that in, I think Judea. I think that's Judea. And all. Why is it. Is this an R or what? I don't get it. That's an R. Definitely. That's definitely an R there. Yeah, that's literally. And in all Jewry they mourn for Josiah. Ye, the rulers also with their wives made lamentation for him unto this day. And this was done ever first, and this was done ever first in Israel. And this was done ever, not still. And this was done ever still in Israel. Okay. And all kindred avail still to be done. And this was done ever still in Israel. Okay. These things are written in a book of the stories of the kings of Judea, namely all the acts and works of King Josiah, his kingly power and majesty, his understanding in the law of God, and what he did ye. And what he did ye. Thing? Ye thing. In what he did. And the thing ye did which are now, and what he did ye thing, ye, what the heck, which are now written in the book of the king of Israel and Judea. And the people took Jeconias, the son of Josiah, and made him king instead of Josiah his father, when he was 33 years old. And he reigned over Israel 3 months. And he reigned over Israel 3 months. And the king. Oh. Didn't I read? I think I read this before. Yeah, I read that part before, but in the other book. So, yeah, it's just history stuff. Oh well. No one's watching though. So the guy after him reigned over Israel for 3 months. And the king of Egypt put him down that he should not reign in Jerusalem, and raise up a tare of the people, namely 100 talents of silver. And that's, I think C is 100. Yeah. Yeah, and the king of Israel put I think, why is this an N here? I don't get it. What? Like PNT. What is this? What is this? What is this? Is it a P and N and T on here? Damn. Is my camera's fine. I think I have to close this computer. Technically, I'm not really using this one. namely 100 talents. 100 talents of silver. And 100 one time ago, the king of Egypt also made Joachim, his brother, king of Judea, Jerusalem. Them, as for them of the king's council with the king himself, Xerxes, his brother, he took and carried them away prisoners into Egypt. For 5 and 20-year-old, what? 5 and 20-year-old was 5, so 25 years old was Joachim when he was made king in the land of Judah and Jerusalem, and he did evil before the Lord. Okay. Fuck, I need to. The other guy was replaced, and the guy was practically evil, more or less, in the king. Also made Joachim his brother king of Judea. After this, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of came up, bound him with hands of iron, and carried him into Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar also took all the vessels that were hallowed in the temple of the Lord, and all the jewels, and carried them unto Babylon, and brought them into his own temple at Babylon. Of his uncleanness and ungodliness it was written in the book of the Acts of the Kings, and Joachim his son reigned in his stead. He was made king, being X something XVII, so that's 15. And Joachim his son is just 17 years old and reigned but 17 years and 3 months. But he's 17 years old and reigned but 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem, and did evil for the Lord. Yep. So after a year, fuck. So then Joachim his son reigned in his stead. He was made king on the 17th year, being 17 years old, and reigned but 3 months and 10 days in Jerusalem, and did evil before the Lord. So after year, Nebuchadnezzar sent and caused him be brought into Jerusalem with the holy vessels of the Lord, and made Seditius his brother king of Judah and Jerusalem. When he was 21 years old, and he reigned 11th year, he did well also in the sight of the Lord, and cared not for the words that were spoken unto him by the prophet Jeremiah at that month at the mouth of the Lord, and there as he had made an oath unto King Nebuchadnezzar, a man swore himself, and fell from him, having a stiff neck and a heart and a strength, transgressed all the statutes and ordinances of the Lord God of Israel. The rulers also, and what is this, headers of the people of the Lord did much evil, and became ungodly more than the heathen, being defiled in all manner of abominations, and defiled the holy temple of the Lord at Jerusalem. And the God of their fathers sent his messengers unto them to turn them back, and to call them again from their sins. Damn, the way they write the word sins in this, it's like an FYNNES. Darn. For he would. So a lot of things. So the next king, more or less. So after Joachim, everything has gone to crap for them. by the looks of it. So basically, you have the very based king Josias, and after that you have Joachim or something, right? Joachim, his successor became, yeah, has gone to shit after Josias, by the looks of it. What's his successor again? Joachim, right? Joachim. Yeah, Joachim. Basically, a guy named Joachim succeeded Josias, and then and more or less everything has gone to crap for them. Where was I? And the God of their fathers sent his messages unto them to turn them back and to call them again from their sins, for he would what is this? Feign? For he would fain fain have spared them for his holy tabernacles. What is this? Fain? What is this? For he would fain have spared. Dude, reading this out loud is annoying. But damn, English has changed too much. Changed so much. For he would fain have spared them for his holy tabernacle's sake. Nevertheless, they had his messengers in derision. And look what God spoke unto them by his prophets. They made but of so. What is this? Sport. And look what God spake unto them by his prophets. They made but a sport of it. This drew on so long till the Lord was wroth with his people. So, yep. God got angry. God got angry against them, more or less, because there was like moral decay, but it looks of it by this point in time. This people for their ungodliness until he caused the kings of the Chaldeans to come, and until he caused the kings of Chaldeans to come up, which slew their young men with the sword. Yea, even in the compass of their holy temple, and spared nobody, neither young nor old, neither maiden nor young man, but they were all delivered unto the power of the kings of the Chaldeans, and all the holy vessels of the Lord and the king's treasures took, and carried them onto Babylon. They carried them onto Babylon. As for the house of the Lord, they bent it. They bent it and break down the walls of Jerusalem, and set fire upon her towers, destroyed all her noble buildings, and brought them to naught. And the people that were not slain with the sword they carried into Babylon. Thus became they prisoners and bond. Yeah, this is basically the exile, which I've heard. That's like the first exile. No. First exile is in Egypt. The second one is basically going to Babylon. Thus they became prisoners and bondmen of the king of Babylon till they were delivered and reigned for themselves. When the words of the Lord were fulfilled, which he promised them by the mouth of the prophet Jeremiah, until the land had her rest, namely all the time that it lay waste had it rest and quietness something years. Which until the land had her rest, all the time that lay waste had it rest and quietness. LX, like 100 something year, 100 plus years or something. Yes, basically this is the second Esdras is basically. Oh, look at the. Oh man, look at the list, sons of whatever. Oh man, how long is this? It's probably so long, man. The second book, as I would say, yeah. I'm not gonna read all that. uh, we have to. I don't think I should read the whole thing. It'll take ages to do. Now, when King Cyrus reigned over the Persians, and when the Lord would perform the word that he had promised by the mouth of the prophet Jeremiah, the Lord raised up the spirit of Cyrus, the king of Persia, so that he would cause this written to be proclaimed throughout his whole realm, saying, "Thus says the king of Persians, the Lord of Israel, that high Lord has made me king of the land. Thus says the Lord, thus says the king of Persians, the Lord of Israel, that high Lord has made me king of the land, and commanded me to build him a house at Jerusalem in Judea. If there be any now of your people, the Lord be with him, and go up with him to Jerusalem, and all they that dwell round about that place shall help them, whether it be with gold, with silver, with gifts, with horses, and necessary cattle, and all other things that are brought with a free will to the house of the Lord at Jerusalem." Then the principal men out of the tribes and villages of Judah and Benjamin stood up. So did the priests also, and the Levites, whom the Lord had moved, to go up and to build the house of the Lord at Jerusalem. And they that were about them helped them with all manner of gold and silver, and cattle also, and with many several gifts, and with many liberal gifts, and this did many one, and this did many said one, whose mind and this did many one whose mind was stirred up thereto. King Cyrus also brought forth the bezels. King Cyrus, oh, that's vessels. Okay, not B. It looks like a B, this one. This one looks like a B, but it's actually a V. Ugh. Yeah, I've heard about the King Cyrus part in the other books. This is somewhat of a repeat from the other book, isn't it? I think Sacred Esdras is like the most exciting part. This is like pretty dry. Oh man. I prefer reading the Geneva Bible though. If only there's like Matthew's Bible Modern Edition, but just kept the you know, the way it's written, but put it in the modern format. I wish that was a thing. I prefer the Matthew's Bible. It seems like it uses the Septuagint. What was this? Man, How long have I been streaming? 39 minutes. 39 minutes. Yeah. Is this working? Yeah, it's working. There you go. This is fucking rough. This is rough, man. Basically, this is a part when King Cyrus more or less did something very based. Also brought forth vessels and ornaments that were hollowed unto the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon had carried away from Jerusalem, and consecrated them to his idol and image, and delivered them to... What does it say? Mithridates, his treasurer. Mithridates? So basically at this part, the Israelites more or less rejected the prophets, and then at this point of time, they came back to Israel. Yep. I prefer reading, honestly, I prefer reading this one because the text is much better. I'm also kind of comparing it as well. It's my model not doing its thing. This is like chapter 2, of course. Have you please let the Lord? Yeah. I can't really bring this Bible to like you know, church and read it, because damn, the text is so difficult to read. The font makes it harder. Who's his treasure? Is it, what does it say? Is it Mithridates, his treasure, and by him they were delivered to Salmanazar, the Davite, the Davite in Judea. What does it say in here? Now I can brought governor. So this part over here, I'm just comparing it to like the Geneva Bible. Delivered them to Mithridates his treasure, by whom they were delivered to Salmanazar, the dignitary. I think that will be dignitary. I think that would be dignitary. I don't know why it's Davite. Why? Why spell it like this? Is it Davite? I'm pretty sure that's Davite in Judea. And this was the Davite as in like dignitary or some kind. And this was the number of them, 2004. Four of basins of gold. 2004 and 100 whatever, and 100 silver bowls, 30 basins and 30 pieces of gold, 2 and 4 and 100 vessels of silver, and 1,000 vet elid. What? Vet and 1,000 vessel and 1,000 vesseled. Damn, there's no one in chat actually. Oh well. Whatever, I cannot read that. Is it vesseled? All them vessels of gold and silver were and geez, Roman, they were numbered, blah blah. Just numbers here. They were numbered unto Salmanazar and them that were come again with him to Jerusalem out of the captivity of Babylon. Now in the time of Artaxerxes, the king of Persia, these men, Balamus and Mithridates, etc., whatever, Belthemius, Similis the scribe, and others that dwelt in Samaria and in other places under the dominion thereof, wrote a letter unto King Artaxerxes, where they complained unto the king of them in Judea and Jerusalem. The letter was made after this matter. Okay, this is. The letter was made after this manner. Sir, your servants Bethimus and story writer Sibelius the scribe and other judges of the court in Seleucia and Vinces, be it known and manifest to our Lord the King, that the Jews which are come up from you unto us into the rebelliousness and the wicked city begin to build it again. What is this? And build the more. Okay, so they're basically rebuilding the second temple, this one. So, no, not rebuilding, more like they're just built. This is the part where they build a second temple, and they wrote a letter on this part here. I'm gonna change the settings a little bit on my computer. No, not that one. It's called power options. For some reason my laptop is overheating a little bit. Be it known and manifest to our Lord of the King, that the Jews which are come up from you unto us into the rebellious and wicked city begin to build it again, and the walls about it, and to set up the temple of the new. Now, if this city and the walls thereof be set up again, they shall not only refuse to give they shall not only refuse to give tribute and taxes, but also rebel utterly against the king. But shall not only refuse to give tributes and taxes, but also rebel utterly against the king. And for so much as they take this in hand now about the temple, we thought it reason to think no scorn of it, but to show it unto our Lord the King, and to certify him thereof, to the intent that if it please the king, he may cause it be fought in the books. He may cause it be sought in the books of old, and you shall find such warning written, and shall understand that this city has all been rebellious and disobedient, that it subdued kings and cities, and that the Jews which dwell therein have ever been rebellious, obstinate, unfaithful, and fighting people. For that which this caused the city is wasted. Wherefore, for now we certify our Lord the King, that if this city be built and occupied again, and the walls thereof set up anew, thou canst have no passage unto Syria and Phoenicians. Then wrote the king to Bathamus, the story writer, to Balthemus, to Sibelius the scribe, and to the other officers and dwellers in Syria and Phoenicians. After this manner I have read the epistle which you have sent unto me, and have commanded to make diligent search, and have found that the city has ever rested kings, that the same people are disobedient and have caused much war, and that mighty kings have reigned in Jerusalem, which also have raised up taxes of Syria and Phoenicians. Wherefore I have commanded those people that they shall not build the city, that they make no more in it, and that they proceed no further with the building, for so much as it might be the cause of war and displeasure unto kings. Now when Bathamus and Sibelius the scribe and the rulers in the land had read the writing of King Artaxerxes, they gathered them together, and came in all the haste to Jerusalem with a host of horsemen, and with much people of foot, and forbade them to build, and so they left of them building of the temple unto the 2nd year of King Darius. So basically they kind of delayed the building the temple for a bit at this point of time. So delayed a bit. King Darius made a great feast unto his servants, unto all his court, and to all the officers of Judea and Persia, yea, to all the Davids, and all the dignitaries and rulers that were under him. They're under from India onto Ethiopia in 100 and X2 in 127. So when they had eaten and drunken, being satisfied, and were gone home again, Darius the king went unto Shaber, laid him down to sleep, and so awaked. Then the young man that kept the king's person and watched his body, what is this? Comment among themselves. Comments, I think. Whatever. Then the three young men that kept the king's person and watched his body. What is wrong? Now when yeah, so it's King Darius, so man, it's so much. Too much. You know what, since no one's watching, I'll just go to the other chapters. So yada yada. So what's going on here? So basically King Darius, so this is a part, like they're about to build it, but they have to delay it somehow. They have to delay it. Then the three young men that kept the king's person and watched his body, okay, the guards, comment among themselves and spake one to another, let every one of us say something, and look whose sentence is wiser and more excellent than the other. Unto him shall King Darius give great gifts and clothe them with purple. So they're gonna make He shall give them great vessels of gold to drink in, clothes of gold and coverings. He shall make him a costly chariot and real build of gold, whatever this is. Bridle of gold. And bridle of gold. He shall give him a bonnet of white silk and a chain of gold about his neck. He shall be the second and principal next unto King Darius, and that because of his wisdom, and shall be called the king's wise kinsman. So everyone wrote his meaning, sealed it, and set it under the king's pillow, and said, when the king arises, we will give him our writings, and look whose word the king and his chief lords judge to be the most wisely spoken. The same shall have the real, what does this say? Viatory. The same shall have the victory. I think that's victory. This is so odd to see. Victory. Vyetory. Victory. Oh. Why did I spell it like this? You know, reading this stuff, man. Reading Old English just baffles me. Like the way they spell things. That's literally this word right over here. It's literally Vyetory. Victory. The same shall have the victory. One wrote, wine is a strongest thing. The second wrote, the king is stronger. The third wrote, women have yet more strength. But above all things, the truth bears away the victory. Now, when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him. And, and so he read them, then sent he forth to call all his chief lords and all. What does it say? Debits? Why does it say debits? Or dignitaries, basically. It's basically dignitaries, this one. I don't know what it says. Debits, right? Debits and rulers of the countries of Judea and Persia. And when they were set down in the council, the writings were read before them. They don't. The word reading or read is literally R-E-D for this. And he commanded to call for the young men that they might declare their meanings themselves by mouth. So when they were sent forth and came in, the king said unto them, show us and make us to understand what the writings are that ye have written. Then began the first which had spoken of the strength of wine, and said, O ye men, wine is a marvelous strong, and overcomes them that drinketh it. It deceives the mind, and brings both the poor man and the king to bondage and vanity. Thus does it also with the bondman and dotage. Is it dotage? Dotage and vanity. Whatever, dotage and vanity. Thus does it also. I think that dotage and thus does it also with the bondman and with the free, and with the poor and with the rich. It takes away their understanding, and makes them careless and merry, so that none of them remembers any heaviness and debtor duty, and deter and have any heaviness and heaviness deter duty. It cause a man to think also that the thing which he does is honest and good. It causes a man to think also that the thing which he does is honest and good, and remembers not that he is a king, nor that he is an octorite, and that he not to do such things. Moreover, when men are all drunken, they forget all friendliness, all brotherly faithfulness and love. But as soon as they are drunk, they draw out the sword and will fight. And when they are laid down from the wine and soar up again, they cannot tell what they did. Judge ye now is not wine. What they did. Judge ye now is not wine the strongest, for who would else take in hand to do such things? And when he had spoken this, he held his tongue. What is this letter? So the guys, why write letter? I don't get it. 3 wise sentences. Then the second, which had said that the king was stronger, began to speak, saying, "All ye men, are not they the..." Okay. Oh, man. What time is it, actually? Then the second, which had said that the king was stronger, that began to speak, saying, "O ye men, are not they the strongest and most excellent that conquer the land, and you see and all that is in thee, and see in the earth? Now is the king Lord of all these things, and has dominion of them all, and look what he has commands. It is done. If he sends his men forth a warfare, they go, and break down hills, and walls, and towers. They are slain, and slay other men themselves, and overpass not the king's word. If they get the victory, they bring the king all the spoil. They bring the king all the spoil. Likewise, others that meddle not with wars and fighting, but till the ground. When they reap, they bring tribute unto the king. And if the king alone do but commands to kill, they kill. If he commands to forgive, they forgive. If he commands to smite, they smite. If he bid bring away, they drive. If he bid drive away. Oh, man. Drive. It says drive away, they drive away. If he commands to build, they build. If he commands to break down, they break down. If he commands to plant, they plant. Whatever. The common people and the rulers obediently obedient the common people and the rulers are obedient unto him, and the king in the mean season sits him down, eats and drinks, and takes his rest. Then kept they watch round about that king, and not one of them dares get him out of the way to do his own business, but must be obedient unto the king at a word. Judge ye now, O ye men, how should not he go fare far above unto whom men are thus obedient? And when he had spoke this, he held his tongue. The third, whose name was Zorobabel, what does it say? Zorobabel? And a third, whose name was Zorobabel, which had spoken of women and of truth, began to say after this manner. Oh, Zorobabel, that's how you spell it. Zorobabel. Sometimes the V's and the B's are a little bit hard to distinguish because the V's are a little bit similar to B's in this kind of script. Reading in the Geneva Bible is much easier, of course, even though it has some quirks on it. Which has spoken of women and of truth. The third, whose name was Zorobabel, which had spoken of women and of truth, began to say after this manner, O ye men, it is not the greatest It is not the greatest king, it is not the multitude of men, neither it is wine that excels. Who is it then that has the lordship over? Who is it that has the lordship over them? Have not women the king borne the king, and all the people that rules those things, have not women borne them and brought them up, and that plant the vines whereout that wine comes, and they make garments for all men. They gave honor unto all men, and without women cannot men live. If they gather gold and silver and all precious things, and see fare well. What does it say? Fair and see a fair, well-favored woman, they leave all together, and turn their eyes only unto the woman, and gape up upon her, and have word. What does it say? Desire, and have more desire unto her, and then unto silver and gold, or any manner of precious thing. A man leaves his father that brought him up, he leaves his own natural country, and cleaves unto the woman. He is uh he leaves his own natural country and cleaves unto the woman. He is jeopardized his life with the woman, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. By this then he must need he by this then ye must needs know that women have the dominion over you. Does it grieve you? Does it grieve you? Does it grieve you? A man takes his sword and goes his way to steal, to kill, to murder, to sail upon the sea, and saith a lion, and goes in the darkness, and when he has stolen and deceived and robbed, he brings it into his love. Again, a man loves his wife better than father, a mother. Many one there be that reigns out of their wits, and become bondmen for their wives' sake. Many also have perished, and have been slain, and have sinned because of women. And now believe me, I know a king which is great in his power, and all land stands in awe of him, and no man dare lay hand upon him. Yet did see that, what does it say? See that Apame, the daughter of the great king Barticus, the king's concubine, sat beside the king upon the right hand, and took off his crown from his head, and set it upon her own head, and smote the king with her left hand. Moreover, the king looked upon her with open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure with him, the king was fain to flatter her, and to give her good word till he had gotten her favor again. All ye men, are not women then stronger? Breast is the earth, and high is the heaven that to do these things. Then the king and the princess look upon one another. So he began to speak of the truth. All ye men are not women stronger. Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the course of the sun. He compassed the heaven round about, and fetches his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not excellent that does things? Great is the truth, and stronger than all things. All the earth called upon the truth. The heavens praises it. All works shake and trembles at it, and with it, it is no unrighteous thing. Uh, Dane is, what does it say? Dane? Dane is unrighteous. The king is unrighteous. Women are unrighteous. All the children of men are unrighteous. Ye all their works are unrighteous, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also shall they be destroyed and perish. As for the truth, it endures forever, and is always strong. It lives and conquers forevermore. The world without end. The truth accepts no persons. The truth accepts no persons. It puts no difference betwixt rich or poor, betwixt the mighty or simple, but does right unto every man, whether they be evil or good. And all men are lovingly dealt with all in all works of it. In the judgment of it, there is no unrighteous thing, but strength, kingdom, and power, and majesty forevermore. Blessed be the God of truth. And with that, his tongue and all the people cried and said, Great is the truth, and above all. Then said the king unto him, Ask what you will. More than is appointed in the writing, and I shall give on it, for you are found wiser than your companions. You are first next to me, and be my kinsman. Then said he unto the king. So the third one is basically one. Uh, yeah. Hmm. And also, so why do they do this though? Like, so three guards that were guarding for the king made a letter to the king, and they just did a competition, bit of a competition of which letter is the wisest or the strongest or something. Hmm. And with that, he held. So basically, the last guy, Zorobabel, practically won. Oh man, how long have I been streaming? 1 hour 19 minutes. So chapter 4 in the first book of Esdras. Look at that. I think second Esdras. Oh, what's up, dude? uh What are you saying? Aviation guy. Yeah, this is my first time live streaming this thing. Wait, what's Lester? Yeah. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember. Fuck. I'm reading all this old English, man. Look at all this old English. You see this? That's Esdras. Do you see this little? You see this letter over here? That's an S. I'm reading all this old English, man. Look at all the old English. I'm up to chapter 4. I'm reading first Esdras, man. And also, I'm also kind of comparing the other Bible that I have, the Geneva Bible, Old English. Well, my avatar is not, my model's not tracking as it should. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're also admin as well. Like, if only there's like several people watching the stream, but it seems like everybody's busy. It would be nice though to see. So basically the gist of what I'm reading. So first chapter is about King Josias, and he was a very based king, but then Josias went out and fight against the Egyptian king, and he did. And then after and around here, you know, this is the second exile to Babylon, and after that, around over here, there's like the building of the second temple, basically. And over here, which I haven't heard before, there's like, it talks about 3 young men that are guarding him or something. So around this part over here, the second temple being built was delayed for a bit until the time of King Darius. And then from here, I don't know, it seems to be delayed. There were letters of it. There were 3 young men that kept the king's person and watched his body, comment themselves and spoke unto another. Let every one of us say something. And look, okay, there was basically, they wrote letters. 3 of these guys wrote letters to King Darius, and they're gonna compare, oh, who's the wisest, who has the wisest letter or something along those lines. I don't think I've heard of this scene before. Yep. So one dude like, oh, what talks about that wine is the strongest or something, and the other guy talks about women and truth. Yeah. So yeah, basically this is like the Apocrypha. Look at this illustration. Look at this. Look at that. That's awesome, isn't it? It says the volume of the books called Apocrypha. You see. Look at how they spell the word book. B-O-K-E-S. Box. Like, bruh. The way they spelled books back then. And look at the word this is the word Latin too. L-A-T-Y-N-E. Oh man, and the word for which, it says which are not found in the Hebrew nor in the child, something. Third book of Esdras, fourth book of Esdras, the book of Tobit or Tobiah. I just got used to it, man. Honestly, this Bible here is like the hardest one to read. But I would say this Bible, I read this one, the Geneva Bible, 1560. this Bible right over here, the 1560 Bible, right? Basically, every time I go to churches, right? Every time I go to church, I read the Geneva Bible, man. This Bible right here, 1560. Every time there's a church, I go take this Bible and read the current readings of the church, basically. Every time, 1560. And then there's like the 1537. Matthew's Bible. 1537. Insane. Not only that, the Matthew's Bible, right? The Matthew's Bible, it has no, you might notice, right? There's no numbers. There's no verse numbers. There's no verse numbers. Only chapters. Only chapters on this thing. 4th chapter, 5th chapter. No verse numbers whatsoever. Okay, I'm gonna read this on. And with that, so let me reread then the second which had said the king was stronger. Began to speak. Oh yeah, whatever. So the third guy, the second guy already read. Judgy. Yeah. Well, you know, where's the part where the third guy? The third who's okay, here it is. Here's the third guy. Here's what the third guy said. The third letter. So the guy named Zorobabel, the third whose name was Zorobabel, which has spoken of women and of truth, began to say after this manner: O ye men, it is not the greatest king, it is not the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excels. Who is it then that has the lordship over them? Have not the women borne the king, and all the people that rules those things? Have not the women borne them and brought them up, that plants the vines whereabout that wine comes out? They make garments for all men, they gave honor unto all men. And without women cannot men live? If they gather gold and silver and all precious things, and see afar, what does it say? Fair. Oh, that's the word fair. This one, FYRE, and see a fair, well-favored woman, they leave all together and turn their eyes only onto that woman, and gape upon her, and have more desire unto her than unto that silver and gold, or any other manner of precious thing. A man leaves his father that brought him up, he leaves his own natural country, and cleaves unto the woman. He jeopardizes his life with the woman. LYFE, that's word LYFE, life. And remembers neither their father, their mother, their country. By this then ye must need know that women have the dominion over you. Does it grieve you a man takes his sword and goeth his way to steal, to kill, to murder? Dude. Look at this. Murther. Murther. That's the way they spelled mirth. It's actually murder though. To sail upon the sea. So this, yeah, basically simping. To sail upon the sea and says and slays a lion and goes into the darkness, and when he stolens and deceives and robs, he brings it unto his love. Again, a man loves his wife better than father and mother. Many one. Look at this, many one. Who says many one? It's so weird. And many one there be that reigns out of their wits and become bondmen for their wives' sakes, and many one also have perished and have been slain and have sinned because of women. Basically, yeah, basically simping, basically. And now believe me, I know a king which is great in his power, and all lands stand in awe of him, and no man dare lay a hand upon him. Yet did he, what does it say? If, what is this letter? Yet did see that Apami, the daughter of that great king Barticus, the king's concubine, sat beside the king upon the right hand, and took off his crown from his head, and so basically, and set it upon her own head, and smote the king with her left hand. Moreover, the king looked upon her with open mouth. If the king laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if the king took any displeasure with him, the king was fain to flatter her, and to give her good words, till he had gotten her favor again. O ye men, are not women then stronger? Breath is the earth, and high is the heaven that do those things. Then the king and the princess look upon another. Okay. Then the king and the princess look one upon another. So he began to speak of the truth. So basically, on this part, he was more or less speaking about women and how guys would basically simp, more or less. Then the king and the princess look upon another. So basically, a transition of another topic. So he began to speak of the truth. All ye men, are not women stronger? Great is the earth, high is the heaven. Look how they spell the word high. H-Y-E in here. H-Y-E. High is the heaven. Swift is the course of the sun. He compassed the heavens. So this guy over here is talking about truth and how strong is the truth, basically. Then the king and the princess looked on father, so he began to speak of the truth. O ye men, are not women stronger? Great is the earth, high is the heaven. Swift is the course of the sun. He compassed the heaven round about, and fetches his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not excellent that does this? Ye, great is the truth, and stronger than all things. All the earth calls upon the truth. All the earth calls upon the truth. The heaven praise it. All works shake and tremble at it. And with it is no unrighteous thing. THYNGE thing. Damn. And with it is no unrighteous thing. Wine is unrighteous. I think that's the word wine. It looks like a letter D over here. Look at this letter. Way over here. It looks like a D, but it's actually W, I think. Wine is unrighteous. The king is unrighteous. Women are unrighteous. All the children of men are unrighteous. Ye, all their works are unrighteous, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also shall they be destroyed and perish. As for the truth, it endures and is always stronger, and is always strong. It lives and conquers forevermore, and world without end. The truth accepts no persons. It puts no difference betwixt rich or poor, betwixt the mighty or simple, but does right into every man, whether they be evil or good. And all men are lovingly dealt with in all works of it. In the judgment of it there is no unrighteous thing, but strength, kingdom and power and majesty forevermore. Blessed be the God of truth. And with that he held his tongue, and all the people cried and said, Great is the truth. So basically saying that truth is stronger. Great is the truth, and above all, then said the king unto him, Ask what you wilt. Ask what you will, more than is appointed in the writing, and I shall give it to thee. For you are found wiser than your companions. You shall sit. Oh man, look at the word sit. That's this. They don't spell it, man. Yo, Lester, still here, man? Are you still here? uh You shall sit next to me and be my kinsman. Then said he unto the king, Remember your promise and vow, which you hast vowed and promised in the day when you have came to the kingdom, to build up Jerusalem, and to send again all the vessels and jewels that you were taken away out of Jerusalem, which Cyrus separated when he offers in Babylon, and would send them again. And your mind was to build up the temple which the Edomites Brent. When Jerusalem was destroyed by the Chaldeans, or Chaldees, it says. Lester, are you still here, man, or nah? This only, O king, is that thing that I request. I think that's a letter word I, that I request. This is the majesty which I desire and ask of thee, that you perform the vow which you wit, that you what WT which you with your own mouth hath made unto the king of heaven. Then Darius the king stood up and killed him. And wrote a letter unto all the... Yeah, he killed him? What? Then Darius the king stood up and killed him. What the heck? Yeah, he killed the guy. Okay. Then Darius the king stood up and killed him, and wrote a letter unto all the deputies. Oh, that's the word, deputies. Fuck. It says that's the oh, man. Deputies. Dude, they write deputy. That's the word, deputies? And wrote a letter unto all the deputies and sheriffs to all the lords and nobles, that they should convey him forth, and all them that would go up with him. He wrote a letter also unto all the sheriffs that were in Seleucia and Phoenicia, and unto the Lords, that they should draw seed trees from Lebanon unto Jerusalem to build it. Why did Darius kill him, man? Why did Darius kill him? I don't get it. So basically the guy spoke, and then Darius the king stood up and killed him. What? Why? I don't get it. What? What chapter is this? 4th. So Zorobabel basically killed him. Oh, it's not killed. Damn. It's actually kissed. Damn it. It's not killed. What? He didn't kill him. I've misread this bit. I just compared it to the Geneva Bible. Damn, it's actually kiss. Then Darius the king stood up and kissed him, and wrote a letter unto... Okay. I misread the word. There's actually... This funny letter is actually an S, not an L. Oh man, what a pain to read. So basically, Zorobabel basically was given favor by King Darius at this point of time. I misread the thing. Then Darius the king stood up and kissed him, and wrote a letter unto all the subjects to build a city with all. So at this point of time, King Darius is gonna help the Israelites to build a second temple, basically. Well, I should actually share this shit. Oh man. Nah, probably not. What should I do? Oh man. You still there, Lester? You still there, man? Or nah? Hope you're still there. Shit, it's actually 8 o'clock. Then Darius the king stood up and kissed and wrote a letter onto all the deputies. 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 Debytes. Why? Why did they spell it like this? It's so bizarre. Deputies. The spelling. Oh. There's no standardized spelling back then. To build that city with all. Moreover, he wrote unto all. So he wrote a letter to all his subjects to build a city, that city with all. Moreover, he wrote unto all the Jews that were gone out of his realm, unto Judea, unto Judea because of the freedom that no officer, no ruler, nor sheriff should come to their doors, and that all their land which they had conquered should be free and not tributary, and that the Edomite should give over the cities and villages of the Jews which they had taken, and that they should yearly give 20 talents to the building of the temple until the time that it will finish, and to the daily hallowing of the burnt offerings as it is commanded 10 talents yearly also, and that all they which come from Babylon to build the city should have free liberty, and they and their children and all the priests. He wrote the greatness also, and commanded that the holy garments should be given them wherein they ministered, and wrote that commandments should be given unto the Levites unto the day that the house were finished and Jerusalem built up, and commanded that they watch the city and should have their persons and wages. He gave over also unto all the vessels that Cyrus had separated from Babylon, and all that Cyrus had given in commandment. That same charge he also that it should be done, and sent unto Jerusalem. Now when this young man was gone forth, he turned his face toward Jerusalem, and praised the King of heaven, and said, "Oh, of that ye comes of you comes the victory, of you comes wisdom and clearness, and I am your servant. Blessed are you which have given me wisdom, that will I praise, O Lord, thou God of our fathers." And so he took the letters and went unto Babylon, and when he came there, he told this unto all his brethren that there were at Babylon, and they were praised the God of their fathers, that he had given them refreshing refreshing or refreshment and liberty to go up and to build Jerusalem, and that the temple which is there called after the name of the Lord, and they rejoice with instruments and gladness 7 days long. All right. Second temple being built. So basically, they return from exile. Second Esdras is like, as far as I've read, the most exciting part. Man. Such a long read. I should get this one as well. I have different Bibles. I have the KJV, Neva, Matthews, and NRSV with the Apocrypha. Yeah. Man. How long? Okay, 1 hour and 46 minutes, huh? Got up to like chapter 5 in First Esdras. But in Matthew's Bible, it's called the third book of Esdras. What's the first and second for this one, honestly? Seems like they ordered it differently. Yo. Basically, Josiah, like, so basically after Josiah, King Josiah, the Israelites were basically got exiled. So long story short, the temple was built, and yeah. Man. Where's the Apocrypha? Does this have Esdras? Oh yeah, it does actually. $194. I'm just gonna read the rendering of this. Oh, you're back. You're doing something else. All goods, man. I'm also like looking at this other Bible that I have. So yeah. Where's... I'm trying to find where Esdras is in this one. 194. It's in a different section. Where's Esdras? Come on. Okay, here it is. Maccabees. Oh yeah, pretty nice. Trying to get a good photo and all that. Yeah, pretty good hobby. I'm just like I'm just looking at this stuff as well. Right. Right. You're into that sort of stuff. Not sure how. Honestly, I'm not sure why you're into that sort of stuff, though. Man, all goods. It's like other people also get into trains as well. But yeah, I get. I think I still want. I might not be able to understand it though, but it's pretty cool to get into. You know, there's a reason. I'm pretty sure you know the reason why I get into this stuff as well, because I look into real life lore. It's actually crazy. So I'm like looking at history book. I'm practically reading history right here. Yep, more or less. Fuck. It's like 8:11 p.m. I should be eating by now. I think I'll end it for today, because I have to go and eat dinner soon. And I have to wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow for work as well. At least there's one. At least you're here though. I thought no one would watch this stream and reading all this. I don't think I will completely read all of this though. It's very hard to read this. It's a bit of a it's a tough read reading it in this format. I'm up to the 5th chapter basically. First Esdras. So first Esdras is more or less just Where's the guy named Ezra though? Where's the guy named Ezra? Where's Esdra? Where is Esdra, man? Where is Esdra? Yeah. Oh. I have to carefully flick this page because it makes a crease. Anyways, I'll stop the stream now. See ya next time.